Lagot! Deadline pala ngayon.
May nakalimutan ka ba?
Ano nga bang kukunin ko? Ano ba talaga yung kukunin ko?
May nakalimutan ka ba?
Mali na naman. Ano ba yung password ko?
May nakalimutan ka ba?
Good memory makes a difference. Memo Plus Gold, pure and natural bako pamonyera. Lamang ang brainy good.
Mahalagang paalala, ang Memo Plus Gold ay hindi gamot at hindi dapat gamitin panggamot sa anumang uri ng sakit.
Kuya Kim, ano ba talaga?
Magandang araw sa inyong lahat. Welcome to Ano Ba Talaga with Kuya Kim. Ito pong podcast na to, we talk about anything under the sun. Dapat pagkatapos makinig ng podcast na to, may natutunan kayo, na-inspire kayo, natawa kayo. Dapat mayroong audience takeaway. Kung nagugustuhan niyo po ang laman nitong podcast na to, just click follow and sama na kayo sa community natin. Itong guest natin ngayon, matagal na akong fan nitong grupong to. Hindi lamang pagkatag-ulan, kahit tag-araw. The first time I heard their song, na-attach na ako dun sa kantang yun eh. And then, hindi ko alam, hindi ko kilala kung sino sila. I just like their music so much. And then I did a little bit of research. Nalaman ko, ano pala, yung tatay ng dalawa sa kanila, barkada ko nung college. Oo, yun eh. And then, I got an invitation sometime last year to do a collab with them. Sabi ko, what an honor. So I did a collab with them. And then, ayan, nakanta ko na yung isa sa pinakapaborito kong kanta sa lahat. Yung Raining in Manila. So ang guest natin ngayong araw na to, dito sa Ano Ba Talaga with Kuya Kim, brought to you by the Pod Network and Spotify, the famous Lola Amor. Yun!
Hello. Hello, everyone.
Guys, thank you. Maraming salamat for saying yes to my invitation. It's an honor to have you. As I said, fan ako ng music ninyo. Ang galing nyo.
So it's also an honor for us. You've been part of our TV life the whole
life. All your lives, no? I've been on television for about 21 years daily eh. And ilang taon na ba kayo? Pio, ilang taon na?
29.
O tama, 8 years old ka pa lang, nunod ka na sa akin.
Yes, sir.
Si Pio po, sino bang band leader natin? Meron ba tayong band leader? Wala. O democracy tayo rito?
Democracy. Yes.
Sabagay maganda yun. A lot of bands kasi they disband because the leader gets into conflict with one member and then that other member is a crucial member. May sasamang tatlo, may sasamang dalawa. Nagdi-disband, Yeah. So tell us about Lola Amor. How did Lola Amor start?
Lola Amor started in 2016 officially, pero it was a project between two bands na mga taga Zobel. So those two bands were my old band called Sinigang na Baboy na wala
Sinigang na Baboy, matindi ang pangalan nun.
Oo, sa Zobel kasi uso sa Zobel yung mga mapagkain yung mga band member niyo. Meron kaming rambutan, peach mango pie,
Pero sila rin yun.
Sinigang na Baboy at ano pa yung isa pang banda?
Kami naman Decaf, kami ni Zoe and our old members si Raymond and Martin.
Sinigang na Baboy at Decaf.
Yeah.
Yung
Decaf.
Sinigang na Baboy, pang karinderya yan, Brad. Yung Decaf pang Starbucks. At saka masa nagsama. Ang ganda. Paano napagsama yung social at saka yung pang Starbucks?
Yung merged name became Sinigang na Decaf. Hindi pa namin na yung pangalan na pwede ilagay. Wala pang Lola Amor nun. Parang yung first project namin, buwan ng wika sa school. That was around August, if I'm not mistaken. Yung banda ni Pio, tinanong sila na kung pwede sila tumugtog first for the program. Siguro na bored na sila sa isa't isa. Tinanong,
Hindi. Nagbigyan namin kayo eh.
So Pio asked us, baka gusto nyo mag-join forces para iba naman yung tunog. So yun, doon kami first nag-perform as a big band, pero as Sinigang na Decaf pa. Tapos later on na yung naging Lola Amor.
Yung Sinigang na Decaf, anong tunog nun? Paano? Kasi Lola Amor ngayon, very distinct ang tunog ninyo eh. Intro pa lang, alam na ng tao na Lola Amor eh. Kasi may pagka-funk, na may trumpet pa, merong ibang tunog nyo eh. Ang tunog nyo, type ko eh. Kasi very 70s. Very 70s. Very VST and Company ang dating. Alam mo, ganun ang dating. Anong tunog nung Sinigang na Decaf bago naging Lola Amor?
Actually, at that time, we were doing covers pa. So we really didn't have much originals. We covered Yakap sa Dilim and
Apo Hiking.
Gusto ko ng
Gusto ko ng
baboy.
Baboy, yeah.
Gusto ko ng baboy.
Yeah. By Radioactive sa project.
Si Lourdes de Vera.
Yes.
Maganda mag-guest ko rito yun, si Lourdes de Vera.
Yes,
Sarap
please.
kausap.
Panoorin ko yun.
Anyway, so ayun ang tunog. You're doing covers.
Yeah, we were doing covers. We still had background siguro mostly in parang alternative music, John Mayer, Red Hot Chili Peppers. Pero we tried to incorporate horns na rin in a way. Pero it wasn't still, hindi pa siya pulido. Hindi pa siya kasing Lola Amor sounding at that time.
Yes.
Kailan naging Lola Amor yung Sinigang na Decaf?
Nung 2016 kasi parang may sinalihan kaming contest. Yung Wonderland kasi yung music festival may contest sila dati na may Battle of the Bands. Yung panalo makakatugtog dun sa music festival. So dun kami unang naging Lola Amor kasi kailangan mo maglagay ng ano, 'di ba? Band name.
Yeah.
Di namin malagay yung Sinigang na Decaf, nakakahiya.
Walang saysay. Sa hindi Tagalasal, walang saysay yung Sinigang na Decaf.
Di mo
Hindi nila alam
magigets.
yung dalawang banda na yun eh. So, naging Lola Amor.
Naging Lola Amor.
Bakit Lola Amor?
That is the name of my lola, our lola. Pero napili lang yung pangalan niya dahil sa kanya yung pinaka parang bagay maging band name.
Maganda nga ang tunog ng Lola Amor eh. Ang dating niya parang yung energy drink. Lola Remedios. Lola Remedios.
Monster?
Red Bull. Yung mga honorable mentions si Lola Juanita, si Lola Dulce.
Dulce.
Meron ng Lola Baby.
Bakit kailangan maging Lola? Pwede namang Lolo. Pwedeng Tito, Tita. Bakit kailangan Lola?
Paano ba nangyari?
Parang naisipan namin na magandang band name ay pangalan. So that was our parang theme. So hindi ko alam sino nagsabi. Bigyan niyo yung pangalan ng lola niyo. Tapos nag-voting na lang kami sino yung pinakamagandang pangalan ng lola.
Maganda yung Amor, no? Maganda yung Amor. Love, di ba?
Love.
Ganda. Okay, so paano nag-evolve yung banda ngayon? Paano lumaki ng ganito kalaki? So sinong nadagdag pagkatapos nung naging Lola Amor na kayo?
Actually, same members of Sinigang na Decaf and Lola Amor. Nagbago lang yung pangalan. Pero ang nagbago, kailangan na namin magsulat ng sarili naming kanta. The first ever original song ng Lola Amor, that's the first time we ever wrote a song together. Walang demos from high school, walang ganon. Yun na talaga yung una. It's called
Anong pinakaunang kanta ng Lola Amor?
No Tomorrow yung pangalan niya. Hindi na namin tinutugtog kasi.
Bakit naman?
Dated.
Very juvenile pa lang yung tunog nun.
Very juvenile. Wala pa yung Lola Amor sound na ngayon.
Yes.
Pero maganda pa minsan tugtugin yan. Kasi history niya yan eh.
Yung fans natutuwa. Pag ginagawa na lang namin para sa kanila kasi hindi kami natutuwa.
Lola Amor. Okay, ngayon, napaka-in-demand na ng Lola Amor. Sino ang nag-imbento, sino sumulat ng Raining in Manila? Kasi ito ang pinaka-definitive na kanta nyo sa tingin ko ha. Nakilala kayo worldwide at naging iconic ang Lola Amor because of that Raining in Manila song. Ano yun? Kwento mo sa amin yung history ng Raining in Manila.
Baka pwede
David, ikaw naman.
bigay yung origins.
Yung Raining in Manila, I think, at the time we were,
Sparkle, di ba?
Yes.
Okay.
Parang, we were so obsessed with city pop, Japanese city pop. So, I told Rafi, parang, sulat tayo. And then, I started writing, and then it was in English. And then, super iba pa yung lyrics. And then but it sounded similar na. And then, I brought it to the band. Then, Pio wrote the lyrics over it. And then, yung original lyrics, si Raymond gumawa. And then the only thing that remained from the original one was, it's been raining in Manila, hindi ka ba nilalamig?
Nilalamig.
Yung English-Tagalog flip.
So the reason why we kept changing the lyrics is because we redrawing inspiration from city pop, diba? Yung city pop is like a movement that started booming na kasabay ng golden era ng Japan. So yung background ng City Pop is, sabi sa akin ni David. I just believe everything he
I
said.
just read one article.
What year was this? 2013? 2014?
This is the 80s.
70s,
70s. Oh, yung Raining in Manila, mga 2015.
2023.
2023.
Three.
Okay, yes. But the golden era of Japan, you're saying, is mga 70s.
Or 80s.
Or 80s.
70s or 80s. Oo.
Around it spans kasi from 70s to 90s.
Yeah.
Actually.
Well, actually, I'm a Nipponophile. Lahat na suot ko made in Japan to, Chief. Dati-rati kasi, nung unang panahon, back in the 60s, pag sinabing made in Japan, kakatapos na ng World War II inferior. 50s and 60s, dapat made in USA. Pag nakitang made in Japan, inferior yan. Pero ngayon, pag sinabing made in Japan, unang-una, good quality, made passionately, and mahal. Mahal. Ngayon. Pero sa kanta, so a lot of your songs pala were derived from that Japanese love, ha?
Actually, just Raining in Manila.
Just Raining in Manila.
Yeah. So yung movement na yun, kasabay niya yung economic boom. So ang nangyari, people from the provinces of Japan would move into the city. So yung parang social consciousness in the city would be about missing people, very melancholic about missing people back home, mga ganon. So inaral talaga na, at least ako, lyrically, inaral ko yung mga themes niya. And you can see na it's about being really sad and lonely, and it's about, tsaka may isang line na English, usually, diba? So, it's been raining in Manila, tapos Tagalog na lahat, diba? Ganon.
Pero yung instrumental behind it is like,
yeah.
they can have.
Sad songs with a happy beat.
Ang galing. May brass, no? May trumpet. Ako, ang dating sa akin ng Raining in Manila, parang long-distance relationship eh.
I get how people can interpret that.
Or pwede ring OFW. Kaya nakaka-resonate ng maraming tao.
Actually, exactly
daming
that.
OFW eh.
Yeah.
Diba?
So, nung time na yun, ang in-experience ko was, I was a bit, nalulungkot ako dahil a lot of my friends from college, nag-migrate sila to pursue masters. Dati araw-araw kami magkasama. Ngayon, pandemic, di ko sila makita. 2 years ko silang hindi makita. Tapos nung natapos na yung pandemic, yung barkada namin, 15 kami, 7 na lang kami natira dito. So, it was what was bothering me at the time. Sakto dun sa themes ng City Pop, how do I make this more local and yung hindi ko lang ginaya yung style ng City Pop. So, ang topic niya isn't about, ano siya mas developing world eh. People don't really go here. People don't really settle here. Yung nangyayari, pumupunta sila ibang bansa. So that was what I wanted to write the lyrics about sa Raining in Manila.
So malalim pala ang Raining in Manila, no? Hindi lang pala LDR yan. Ang galing ng history, ha?
Yeah.
Request naman. Acapella tayo, Raining in Manila. Sige na.
Ikaw na ba mag-lead, Kuya Kim?
Sige.
Okay.
Kamagsan.
Ano bang key ba yun? Raining in Manila, di ka... sige. 5, 6,
Ay, yung background.
7. It's been raining in Manila, di ka ba nilalamig?
Nakahiga mag-isa, nanginginig.
It's been raining in Manila.
Pop. Yeah!
Introducing our 8th member.
Uy, di
And
sama.
band leader.
Bagong band leader.
Back to your dad, no?
Yeah.
Yung nabanggit ko kanina sa intro kasi dahil barkada ko nga nung college, a guy named Sunny Dumayas. Sunny Dumayas is one of the more famous creative persons now. He's a commercial director, the favorite assistant director of everyone. But ano yan, icon yan sa advertising. Yan ang barkada ko nung college. But never, actually when you guys were starting, sinabi na sa akin ni Sunny na you should meet my son. They have a band called Lola Amor. Hindi ko pa alam yun. But I knew that merong Lola Amor. Pero hindi ko pa kayo naririnig doon. Yan. And then, si Sunny, tambay lang kami noon sa UP eh. Ano kami?
I believe you.
Bro, least likely to succeed. Kim Atienza. Alam mo yung batch namin, matindi. Puro kami least likely to succeed. Pero, nag-succeed, no?
Yes.
Kasi tambay lang kami noon. And then, si Sunny hindi masyado, marunong mag-gitara ang daddy mo.
Hindi niya sinabi yun.
Katambay namin noon si Ellie Buendia.
Sabi nga yan. Heard about that.
Si Ellie Buendia, nakaupo kami sa steps, tutugtog si Ellie. Si Ellie, ano yan, introvert yan eh. Tugtog lang ng tugtog yan. Wala, pre-eraser heads pa yan. And then, sino pa mga musikerong kabatch namin? Ogie Alcacid.
Yes.
Ogie Alcacid. Oh. Sa UP, nung batch namin ng daddy mo, maraming mga celeb. Richard Gomez. Richard Gomez.
Yeah.
And then sa larangan ng news,
Batchmate,
Julius Babaw. Julius Babaw, Tintin, asawa ni Julius, no? Tintin Bersola, and then Kuya Kim. Pero sali dumaya si Kuya Kim, least likely to succeed. Nakakatuwa na yung mga...
Yung iba expected, yung iba. Wild cards pa na ito.
Lahat kayo Lasal Sobel. So puro kayo mga anak ng sosyal.
Si David Ateneo.
Mas sosyal ka pa. So, nakakatuwa eh. Itong sound na to, paano nabuo itong funk ng Lola Amor? Nag-evolve eh. You have a distinct sound na kailangan meron. Paano nangyari yan? Anong history yan?
The secret to yung sound namin is walang magkapareho na kanta sa buong discography. Pareho
Parang
sila.
Beatles.
Actually, I guess. I wouldn't like to compare myself. Huwag na nilagay sa parehong liga.
Sa album, no? Oo nga, pag nakikinig ako sa inyo, iba-iba nga. Pero ang tunog pareho ibang tunog pero parehong tunog. Guess mo?
Somewhat. Yeah.
Pero isa sa unifying factor ng tunog nyo, feeling ko, yung trumpet. Ang laking bagay na may brass.
Actually.
So anong yung history ng brass?
I think USP namin or like selling point naman yun nung start ng Lola Amor. Not a lot of indie or parang bands that were starting out had horns. Usually it was just the usual rock band, guitar, bass. We had that edge even though when we were starting we weren't that creative with how to integrate horns in our music. It was still something refreshing at that time. So ngayon, since we're a bit more seasoned, we have Jeff, one of our newer members. He replaced our old saxist. He was also able to bring out taga UP Music rin kasi si Jeff. So
UP Music.
Bring out more versed
more
lines.
proper.
More proper.
Ano pa mga brass instruments na proficient ka, Jeff? Trumpet?
No, more of kasi woodwinds ako.
Woodwinds.
So mga saxophone, clarinet. Flute, inaaral ko pa. Pero ang prominent na actually ang major ko was clarinet. So classically trained ako in college. And then pagdating dito sa banda, it's like
We want funk.
we want that's not it, boy. You can't do that. You can't do that.
Magaling ka mag-classical. Ang training mo talaga classical.
Ang training ko talaga is classical.
Galing.
Hindi ako magaling. But like,
That's not true. He's pretty good.
Actually, trivia lang po para sa mga listeners natin, mga nanonood sa atin. Ang clarinet, kaya tinawag the woodwind instrument kasi meron siyang reed. So yung mga brass instrument, meron silang mouthpiece, pure brass. Ang woodwind, meron silang reed. Yan ang vina-vibrate mo sa pagitan ng labi mo. Tapos, kahoy. Yan,
ang exception was flute. Metal kasi yung flute.
metal.
So, pero before, wood siya.
Yung mga sinaunang flute.
Yes, sinaunang flute. Another exception is saxophone kasi fully brass siya except the reed.
The reed, may wood pa rin.
Yes, may wood pa rin. So, yeah, pagdating ko dito sa band, it's like totally different shift. When we were making Raining in Manila, nahirapan ako like with everything. Making a solo, making the horn. Horn lines, okay, kaya pa.
We remember. No.
Solo, as in, yung solo ng Raining in Manila was... Okay, fine. I brought something to the studio and then David did not like it.
So we wrote the solo like 15 minutes before we recorded. We rewrote it together.
Yeah.
Tapos galit na galit ako kasi...
Galit na galit siya.
I was like,
classical.
Ako kasi yung, what's it called?
Iron Fist.
Supervisor ng recording sessions para on time.
Are you a
efficient.
technical guy?
Yes.
Nag-Berkeley School of Music siya for college. Yeah.
Puro kayo social na. Ateneo ka na, nag-Berkeley School ka pa.
I'm still paying for it.
loan.
Yeah, so,
Galing. Yun, the more I learn about the history of the band, the more I admire you. My gosh, meron pala kayong Berkeley School of Music.
Yes, sir.
Tindi mo, Brad.
He's right here.
Hirap. Kung tingin mo, kung nasa Amerika ka pa, madideport ka kay ni Trump.
I think so.
I think siguro, no?
Activista ka ba?
Sure.
Activista ka.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Activista ka daw.
No. But, you know, how I look.
Tingin mo na, dahil binanggit mo na yung Berklee School of Music, ano naman ang musical history mo, David? Na-intriga ko eh. So, Ateneo ka. Before Ateneo, sa ka nag-aral?
Well, Ateneo ako since grade 3. But before that, I was just in a parang local school
Local
near...
school?
in
Ateneo ba is not
Manila.
local?
No. Like beside the house lang. Na
Okay.
small school
Oh.
lang. But then we moved to QC. Then nag-Ateneo ako. Then
Anong course mo sa Ateneo no college?
I didn't. I took college in
Berkeley na?
In Berkeley na.
Social talaga. Para sa mga nakikinig, baka kasi hindi nila alam, yung Berklee School po, isa sa mga famous na music school sa California. UC Berkeley, di ba? Boston Berkeley. Okay. O, isa sa mga famous schools ng music, mahal po dyan.
He's still paying for it.
Yes, I'm still paying for it. Yes.
It's been
Okay,
years.
so anong course, ano ang major mo naman dun sa Berklee School?
So I took film scoring.
Film scoring.
So it's more classical background, more of you write the music but you don't perform it. So that's what I wanted to do. Na I would write new things every day, but once it's written, wala na. It's there. But then I went here, and then Pio was like, "Oh, our keyboardist went to Korea. Do you want to
You wanna
join?"
join?
And I was like, "Wala akong trabaho eh." So
Pandemic pa din.
actually, yung principal instrument ko sa Berklee is voice.
Voice.
And then, so I just learned how to play.
So marunong ka rin ng classical singing. Kasi voice ang major mo eh.
Yes.
Parinig naman. Sample naman dyan.
Opera.
Opera. Parinig naman.
Opera.
Isang opera. Okay. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, David of Lola Amor singing opera.
It's been raining in Manila. Hindi ka ba nilalamig?
Pavarotti.
Kaya siya
Pero walang classical doon. It's just contemporary.
Mali.
Sorry.
I-upload naman kami. Contemporary yun. Classical. Dapat yung Mala Pavarotti. Okay.
Nesundorama. Yun na. Okay na yun.
Yung Nessun Dorma po is one of the top songs of Turandot.
Yes.
Turandot, it was, nandyan yung funicula, di ba? At saka yung Vincero.
Yes.
Vincero.
Classical voice.
Naalala ko pa yung classical. Music. Alam mo, at one point, I wanted to be an operatic singer.
Sample.
Pero wala eh. Hindi tumalab sa akin eh. Yeah. Wala man tayong time machine, ang memories naman natin ang pinakamabilis na paraan para makabalik sa nakaraan. Alam niyo ba na ang memory ay galing sa Latin word na memor? Ibig sabihin ay to remember something that has passed. Diyan din galing ang salitang memorare o yung mga remembrances ng mga nakaraan natin. Mahalaga talaga ang pag-preserve ng memory. Kung gusto nyo ma-enhance ang memory nyo, ma-improve ang focus, mabawasan ang stress at maiwasan ang pagiging makakalimutin, try Memo Plus Gold. Trusted na ito for almost 20 years. Meron tong Bacopa Monnieri herb na proven safe and effective to enhance brain function. Clinically tested din ito sa CDRI ng India at BSI sa Australia. Available ang Memo Plus Gold sa Mercury Drug, Watsons at lahat ng leading drugstores nationwide, pati Shopee at Lazada. Tandaan, para hindi makalimot, Memo Plus Gold. O teka mga musical background. Yan. Ikaw naman, anong musical background mo, Chief? How did you start into music?
Sige. Actually, damay ko na rin yung
Apat.
apat sa amin.
Okay. Kayong apat?
Oh, ito. Itong apat. Rafi, Jeff, ako, at si Manu. Nung high school, sa Zobel pa rin, sa Zobel, we had a parang good music program.
Yeah.
May symphonic band and orchestra. So, siguro well-funded or well-prioritized siya ng school. Parang instead of having general music class, you had an option to go into band or orchestra. So for me, I chose trumpet na at that time. Doon nag-start si Jeff mag-clarinet, si Rafi percussions, and Manu was also playing trumpet.
Yes.
I guess some of us doon nag-develop yung passion or interest in that kind of music. So doon ako nag-start mag-learn ng trumpet. I didn't actually think na I'd keep playing trumpet until now. It just so happened na when we merged, they needed a different instrument. So yun, I tried the trumpet. Tapos 9 years later, I'm still trying to do this.
Fun fact, fun fact, si Messina was vice president of the band at some point.
I don't know how I got there too.
I don't know.
For the trumpet players, sinong idol mo? Louis Armstrong, Chuck Mangione?
Oh, but Chuck Mangione is good, but he plays more flugelhorn. I don't really listen to siguro.
Louis Downswell, the one who does the Incredibles with many, like as in medley, Incredibles medley.
Yeah.
Do you know that?
I probably heard of it, but I don't particularly zone into
he's my idol for
artist.
trumpet.
So usually I just listen to what I hear on the radio or what I can find that has horns in it.
Ganda. Percussion. Anong klaseng percussion naman ang training mo? Classical percussion din?
For me at least, no. Actually, the way they taught perks kasi nung Zobel, it
Ano
was
tawag?
more
Perks?
Percussion.
Percussion.
Talaga itong mga bata.
We call it perks.
Decaf din eh.
Pero yun,
Sabi
parang
sabihin ng perks habang nasa Starbucks ka. No?
decaf.
Starbucks.
Pero yun, our teachers, Miss Nana Chavez and Sir Lin Malalik, they would just show me the instruments that I needed to play. Actually, before I entered the band, I only knew how to play the drums. And then the band said that if you want to join the percussion section, you need to also learn how to play the piano. Because that means you need to learn how to play the timpani and the xylophone and many other instruments. So
And the triangle.
yeah, the triangle also. Yeah. That's part of it also. So I had to learn those instruments first before joining the band. Actually, yung audition ko was terrible. Like my piano audition was so bad because I'm usually a really slow reader, so sheet music. But what made me get in band was my drumming. They really loved my drumming and they thought it was super fitting for the band. So yeah, I entered and then I got to learn all these instruments and yeah, also same with Angelo. I never would have expected to play this long, but I'm very happy I did. And I still use these teachings to this day because the classical background honestly helps you with how
Pag
music
classical ang
can be-
background mo, iba no?
Iba talaga po.
Gamit na gamit sa lahat
Parang you get to understand why songs are structured in a certain way, all the stuff the chords used. So I mean, as a percussionist, I may not be as well versed in chords compared to the rest of the guys here, pero just learning how each sections are structured is already a super helpful skill to have in a band. So yeah.
Ikaw naman, Zoe, anong musical background?
Actually, I started playing guitar because when I was grade 5, grade 6, I was super into Guitar Hero. I'm not sure if you're familiar.
Natuto ng gitara sa Guitar Hero,
Yeah. It's like a guitar video game.
Yeah.
It's like a
I
controller and
remember that.
stuff.
Guitar
Yeah,
Hero.
so yun, after that, I
Time
started...
zone.
Yes, time zone. So yun,
Haba
after
yung
nun,
matikip
I
mo.
started playing, I started taking up lessons. Then, nung time na yun, I think Angelo was also playing drums.
Yeah, he's playing drums.
And then one of our neighbors, Raymond, who's our previous bassist, he started also playing bass. So nung time na yun, we were all neighbors. So yun, we'd all start jamming. I think nung summer namin, every day we would just jam random music. Like mga Red Hot, mga Incubus.
Memorize na ng construction workers yung Fall Out Boy.
Nung time na yun, siya pa yung kumakanta ng mga songs.
Sample.
Sample nga.
Sample.
Sample naman.
Hindi talaga kaya.
Go, sample. Stacy's mom. Go, Stacy's mom. Go.
Stacy's mom. Kasi wala kaming singer. Puro instruments lang kami. Wala kumakanta. Parang bored na ako sa drums, guitar, or bass. Antay lyrics. So ako na kumanta.
Kaya nagpa-practice ka pa rin. Parang yung trumpet.
Siyempre. Always.
O The Dumayas Brothers, paano kayo nagsimula sa music?
Nagsimula ako dahil yung similar to Zoe na Guitar Hero themed. I saw my friend play Sweet Child of Mine. Yun. Tapos kahit yung lead guitar lang. So I took an interest in playing guitar. But because I saw so many of my batchmates katulad ni Zoe tsaka yung dating gitarista ng Sinigang na Baboy na ang layo na ng skill level nila with shredding and playing solos. I chose to parang mas na-interest ako sa songwriting side, yung learning how to structure music and writing lyrics. So doon ako nagsimula.
Manu?
So, nag-start ako. First instrument ko was piano. I didn't like it eh. Actually, yung dad ko lang.
Pinilit ka ni Sunny?
Yes. Tapos, sabi ko, di ko trip talaga to eh. So, next, tinry ko yung guitar. Bano pa rin ako sa guitar. So, yun. I joined the band nung grade 6 ako. And, bano pa rin ako mag-trumpet. Pero,
not really.
Pero may class, you get to skip classes kasi. Kung so,
kung band ka.
Oo.
Yeah, that's true.
So, sige na nga, I'll continue this. And eventually, I got the hang of it naman. And I started to enjoy it. So, after that, I tried to revisit the other instruments again. Guitar was fun. Tapos nag-bass na rin ako. Piano hindi pa rin eh. Hindi talaga kaya.
Piano no?
Hirap. So,
ilan bang instrumento kaya mong tugtugin?
So mainly yung dati akong trumpet. Now I'm playing bass since Raymond left na the band. So
can also play guitar.
Yeah, guitar.
Yeah, guitar minsan pag wala si Zoe, ako yung nagsasub dati.
Galing.
Pero usually trumpet yung main ko actually. But I'm actually happier to be in bass just cause no one talks about yung high maintenance talaga ng wind instrument. You need to keep playing talaga to retain that.
Oo naman. Hindi, pero you're the least likely person to play bass, ha? Kasi ang mga bass players, malaking labi eh. Tsaka malaking tao. ang labi mo pang-trumpet eh. Diba dapat ang trumpeter, manipis ang labi eh. Pero si Louis Armstrong, malaking labi eh, no? Di mo rin masabi,
ikaw
no?
ba?
Kasi dapat kung trumpet, pasok yung
labi mo
sa
para you can reach high notes, no?
Pero pag tuba
kung mas malaki yung labi mo, mas mapapagod ka lalo.
Okay. I didn't.
Tsaka yung mga trumpeter ngayon, tama ng technique. Noong panahon ni Louis Armstrong, nakalobo yung chicks nila, di ba?
Yes.
Trumpeter ngayon, hindi na nilobo. Diba?
Technique actually yun eh. It's like an advanced technique para mapatunog yung, like a different sound. Like,
nilolobo nila yung labi niya.
Yeah. That's wrong eh. That's a wrong technique. But then ginagamit pa rin nila. It's like,
it's not a wrong technique. It's just a technique.
In classical sense, it's wrong.
Yeah.
Pero it's
not a classical technique.
Yes.
It's a jazz technique.
Jazz technique.
Pag jazz naman, anything goes eh.
Yes. Anything goes.
Diyan nga nagsimula ang salitang jazz eh. Parang anything under the sun. How profitable is it now to be part of Lola Amor? Yan. Tataki question. Nakita na.
I guess
it's enough to quit your day job.
Yes, it's enough to quit
bravo. Pwede na yan. And then, kasi dyan naman nagsisimula eh. And then eventually, kasi if you're able to quit your day job, you're able to put in more passion. And therefore, with more passion, the profit follows after passion. That's my belief in life. Diba? Kaya paganda music nyo.
Well,
I believe so.
So saan papunta ang Lola Amor at this point?
Right now, we have an album that we're trying to promote. It should be out in a few weeks. At the time of filming, di ko alam kung na-announce na namin. Pero
sana naman.
So check nyo lang yung page namin kung nandiyan na yung mga announcements. But it's an all-new Lola Amor. Parang kotse. Lola Amor 2025.
Well, Lola Amor's always all new naman eh.
That's true.
Why is it all new? Anong bago rito sa Lola Amor na to?
It's our first album na wala si Raymond and si Manu is the bassist. Ano ba? Manu used to be trumpet rin sa studio, but also just the dynamic between us has changed. Iba na rin yung writing styles namin. Pumasok na rin yung mga influences namin as musicians. It's more controlled and I think it's more refined. Yun ba?
And this is the first time na we were all in the same room when from conception to finishing the album.
Wait a minute. What happened to Raymond? Raymond now is pursuing other things. No?
Yes.
Was there anything, you may not reply, ha? Nag-away ba kayo? Ano ba? Anything negative happened?
He just did not have the band in his parang
in his priorities.
In his career path his whole life. Mahirap rin eh. Si Raymond has a family business that he can't leave. Parang
understandable.
Diba? Daming ginagawa. Kami rin, actually, dati, before Raymond left, we were also like, hala, ang laki na ng banda, anong gagawin natin? That no one planned for this. Everyone just wanted to, do this for fun. So, there came a point where we all had to decide na tutuloy ba natin to or will we go all in on this? And it wasn't an overnight decision. Isa-isa kaming nag-resign. Nauna si Zoe, mga ganon. Isa-isa kaming found our way to commit, like rationalizing
To the
all
band,
this stuff.
to music.
Yes. Or like
our way to help out in all of the non-music things in the band. All of us have our own small jobs that we do. There's payroll, there's
tax.
There's HR.
First, Lola More is a band, no? But there are people behind the band as well. And these people are under your payroll. Binabayaran yung mga tao yan.
Yes.
Or you're under a music company that manages you.
Co-management kami. So kami na bahala dun sa staff namin. So kami yung nag-aayos ng payroll. Or specifically ako yung sa payroll, si Zoe sa tax, si Manu sa royalties, si Jeff sa merch, mga ganun. Everyone has their own
may merch din, no?
Galing. Enumerate ko lahat, magiging masyadong technical na yun. So hindi ko na sinabi yung iba, but yeah.
I heard the word tax about 4 times already.
It's really
how much is tax for musicians?
It's a headache. You have to figure it out as you go.
It's amusement tax na pinapataw sa inyo or income tax?
Income tax.
Income tax, yes. Yeah.
And then for every album that you produce, that you sell, may tax din dyan.
You get paid the royalties, tapos ita-tax yung royalties. So doon kami papasok. Yung dumadating na sa amin.
Now that you're famous already, the sound is famous. Do people recognize you on the street and say na, Lola More, no?
Yes.
Depends on the member.
Depends on the location rin. Ako, exclusively Makati. Palagi.
Really?
Hindi ko lang bakit, pero exclusively Makati.
may asawa ka na ba, Manu?
Wala.
Ilan taon ka na?
Youngest
22
member.
20. Bata pa. May girlfriend ka na ba, Manu?
Yes.
Yeah, ang pangalan?
She'll watch this naman. Si Yana naman.
Yana.
Naman.
Yana.
Yana.
Musician.
Hindi rin.
Pero fan ka niya.
Okay na.
But it's very hard to be in a band na mayroong pamilya. Sino sa inyong pamilyadong tao na?
Wala pa.
Mahirap no? Mahirap Kasi, mahirap. Ang oras na ginugugol nyo sa banda, yan ang oras na ginugugol ng isang tao sa pamilya. Like,
Yes.
I can never imagine myself in a band, even if I'm passionate about music, mainly because I have a wife, I have kids, I have other concerns, no? Yan. What was the most challenging moment in Lola Amore's life?
For me, while I was still having my day job, it was juggling my day job with the band. Yeah, because like during that time, I think we were touring. We were having a national tour, and then so let's say Friday to Sunday we'd have a tour. Then Monday we would fly back. Then I'd do my day job. Then Monday to Friday, then go back to touring again the weekend. So no rest. For me, that was a really struggle. I really struggled with that.
Yeah. It was very physically and mentally tiring.
Yeah.
Pio?
Ako nahirapan ako from the adjustment period from hobby to like starting
Career.
to blow up.
Yeah.
Not even I think there was a sense of relief when we decided to make it a career. Pero when you were figuring out na parang kahapon lang bar gig lang tayo, bakit wala na akong time huminga, parang ganun. I think realizing that just because it's just because you imagine it to be this way, like this is how you expected it to be at this time, doesn't mean na di ka mag-a-adjust to what it actually is right now. I think it was really hard for me to pang step up from college kid playing in bars, playing in some shows into post-pandemic adult who has to like balance a day job with all these serious and professional shows. Yeah.
David?
I think it comes in waves. Parang every time you get used to it, something changes and then it becomes more and more difficult. Then you have to find a way to remain motivated, and you have to find a way to still be creative, and it's hard to find the why.
The sweet spot.
Yeah. So,
It's
yeah.
very hard to be a professional musician because pag you're expected to produce all the time. Pag amateur ka kasi, or you're not in the mood, you don't have to produce. When you have a deadline and you have to produce, yan ang pumapasok ang professional sa amateur. Mahirap, di ba? Yeah. Anyway, go on, David.
Oh yeah. Yun, it's you find your whys, like why do I do this, and then you recommit.
What's your why?
Secret.
Boy, may
We all have
inspiration.
to answer.
Yeah, it's a difficult thing to answer.
It's a
but
difficult thing to
yeah,
answer. Yeah. Bulong mo sa akin mamaya. You guys in the back.
I can kind of connect it to them, bring it back to when we just started. Siguro, we thought of it as a hobby. We were lucky enough to win the competition to join the parang first music festival. But after a year or so of trying to have gigs every other weekend, we realized na we don't know what direction to go. Kasi kami lang yung gumagalaw. We didn't have managers at that time. We didn't have a label or anyone trying to...
Siya yung manager
Yeah,
at that time.
ako yung manager. Oo.
Siya magaling.
Nakaproduce na ako ng EP launch. Okay na yan. Anyway, it was hard. We were thinking of having a hiatus as early as having only 3 or 4 songs out pa lang. Buti at that time, some people helped us out. They gave us the opportunity. So I guess that's one of the things na it's hard about being a musician. You have to take the opportunity as it is, as it goes, kasi you don't know when it's gonna come back again.
And shout out to Angelo. Nung nagtutour kami, he would come from duty sa med school, and then straight to tour, straight back to duty.
Oh my gosh.
Tell them about Singapore.
Yeah, I was in Singapore.
Singapore.
We had a music festival in Singapore, so I was still having 24-hour rotations in the hospital. I would come home after the 24 hours to get on a flight na 6 a.m., 7 a.m. to go to Singapore, play at 8 p.m., get to the next flight at 10 or 11, tapos the next day may pasok na naman sa hospital. So I was in Singapore for less than
12
a whole day.
Yeah, that was wild.
Yeah. Then we had a lot of tours at that time. So we had Fallen tour and also for Rainy in Manila. Yeah. So a lot of domestic flights at that time. I think that really tested everyone actually.
But the band's good now.
Yeah.
Yes.
How do you guys see Lola Moore 25 years from now?
Still singing Raining in Manila.
Manila's never going to stop it.
In-accept na namin yun.
Still singing Ringing Manila. Well,
No, but-
tinanong mo yung mga Beatles. Kinakanta pa rin nila yung mga Beatles songs because an icon song is an iconic song. You cannot... Wala.
If it reaches that level, to some extent, the song stops becoming yours. Parang ganun.
Totoo yan.
Yeah.
Nagsasawa ba kayong kantahin ng Raining in Manila?
Oh, matagal na.
Actually, every song.
I think sa tour pa lang medyo nasasawa na.
Yeah.
But we find ways to make it more interesting. Change up the arrangement or change up the live set just so that we don't get bored.
Tsaka yun nga, pag sawa ka na sa mga kanta, you have to remember that, you're not performing for yourself only. Diba?
Correct.
So, that song is also the audience's. Diba?
Actually, may kwento ko tukol dyan eh. Kasi si Ellie Buendia is a good friend of mine because we were batchmates with your dad in college. And then we ride motorcycles together. And then pumunta kami sa isang restaurant sa Tagaytay on our bikes. And then nakita si Ellie Buendia nung mga waiter. Pinatugtog ngayon yung puro Eraserhead songs. No? Nakita ko si Ellie. Para siya nalungkot. And then kinausap niya yung waiter. Sabi niya, Brad, in a nice way. Brad, pwede bang magpatugtog ka na iba naman? Kasi wag yan. Then sabi ko, bakit ganun si Ellie? Bakit niya? Then I realized, for a musician nga naman, pag pinatugtog yung album mo, di ba nakakapagod nga naman yun? Diba? So, napakahirap, Napakahirap na maging icon ka, lahat ng kanta mo iconic, and then pag nakita kayo yun ang patutugtog sa'yo, di ba? Yeah.
Especially during your private life, where you're expecting to be, resting
With
and
friends.
enjoying the life that you built outside your career, di ba?
Yeah.
Parang ganun. Kasama ka mga kaibigan ko, tapos papatugtog na ni Lola Moore. So everyone in the group will also be talking, oh, sikat ka na, mga ganun. But you're actually there to decompress and see your friends. And di ba, parang mga ganun. Kaya siya nagiging bothersome. Pero, hindi mo rin gagawin, it's not their fault also.
Of
It's
course.
the life you chose.
No, it's also a sign of validation. Ibig sabihin, you're significant in their life. Di ba pagka hindi ka na pinapansin at yung kanta mo hindi na kinakanta, gusto mo ba yun? Di ba? Par for the course yan. Dapat masaya tayo pagka ganyan. Di ba? Anyway guys, bitin tayo because hanggang 40 minutes lang itong... I make it a point na hanggang 40 minutes lang yung podcast para bitin. Bitin. But definitely kailangan bumalik kayo.
May part 2.
Part 2. And as I said before, I've always been a fan of Lola Amor. And talagang, may trivia pa pala ako. Nung kinuha nila ako to collab with them, ang talent fee ko maganda. Binigyan ako ng boots. Wesco boots. Actually, nung tinatanong ako ni Patricia, you were under Patricia din eh.
Yeah.
Sabi, anong klaseng boots? Punta ka sa tindahan na to. Pinili ko na yun, di nyo alam eh. Pag tinanong ni Patricia kung ano, bigay mo yan. It's an American brand called Wesco. And all you need is one pair of that boot eh. And then, habang naluluma yun, gumaganda yun. That's one of my favorite boots. At yung boots na yun, pirmado ng Lola Amor yun. Lahat. Talagang ano yun. Ang Wesco kasi ano yan eh. You can actually sell it. The boot is so valuable na pag naluma, mas mahal pa kaysa sa bago. And then you can resell it. In about 25 years. Bebenta ko ng milyong piso kasi may mga pirma ng Lola Amor. Kaya ako kayo pinapirma.
We're still playing Raining in Manila. Right now.
Thank you so much guys. Maraming salamat. Teka muna, last may po-promote pa kayo, di ba?
Oh, yes.
Specifics on what you're going to promote. Go.
Okay, so we have an album coming out on... we have an album coming out. Di namin alam kung at the time of filming, nasunod pa rin yung date, but it is on this date. It's an album, 8 tracks siya. It's our first album with this lineup, and it's an album that's very close to our hearts, not just because of the content, but also because of like the journey of how we made this album. The journey is still ongoing, so hope you guys find the time to pre-save the song and stay tuned for our new album called Love on Loop.
Yes, sir. Love on Loop. Yeah. That's on Spotify, no?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. That's it? Any concerts?
By this time, sana na-announce na. Pero kung hindi pa, baka pa-cut out na lang. We will be having ila-launch namin yung concert a month later, so you guys have all the time in the world to listen to it. It's gonna be in One Ayala on September 12. So see you guys there. We've been working since June. Nag-arrange na kami on how to perform this live for you guys. So hope to see you guys there.
See you! Okay
See ya.
guys, maraming salamat. Thank you so much for being in the show. Okay, magsawa. May part 2 to.
Yes, of course.
Okay, sa lahat ng mga followers po natin, thank you very much for joining us dito po sa Ano Ba Talaga with Kuya Kim. Brought to you by the Pod Network and Spotify. Please press the follow button. Follow na and then rate na rin the podcast para pag nakita yung podcast ko, maganda yung rating palagi. 5 ang rating. 5. Hindi 4.5, hindi 4. Dapat 5 stars all the time.
Stars only.
Thank you guys.
Stars.
And thank you so much for joining us. God bless. Salamat po.
Network Entertainment. The opinions of podcast creators, hosts, and guests are not necessarily reflective of the official stance of the Pod Network Entertainment, its hosts, or other network programs. The content created by the people behind the podcast is personal and not meant to harm any religion, ethnicity, group, organization, company, or individual.